All right, today we're diving into something called Langevin dynamics. It sounds complex, but it's really the engine that explains a huge cosmic mystery. How can a universe with a set of rules be so alive, so creative, and so full of change? Let's get into it.
Okay, so this is the big question, right? If there's some kind of master blueprint for all of reality, why isn't everything just finished? Why is the universe constantly churning, evolving, and creating brand new things? Why didn't it just lock into its final state billions of years ago and call it a day?
Well, the answer isn't just about the rule itself, but the process that brings that rule to life. We have to stop thinking about a static blueprint and start thinking about the actual physics of how things become.
So this master rule, the source material calls it the Sentient-Field functional, or Chi for short. You can think of it like a map of every single possibility the universe holds. But, a map just sits there, right? It doesn't do anything. You need a process, a vehicle, to actually get out there and explore the landscape. That's the missing piece.
And that process, it has a name, Langevin dynamics. This is the key. This is what unlocks all the movement and evolution in our universe. It's what turns that static map into an incredible, dynamic journey. Okay, I know this all sounds super abstract, but stick with me, because we can make this really easy to grasp with a simple analogy. Just imagine the entire landscape of reality is one giant, sprawling mountain range. Here's how it works. That master rule, Chi, that's the entire mountain range. Every peak of chaos, every valley of stability, all of it. And the state of our reality, right now, well, that's just a single ball, rolling somewhere across that vast landscape. The goal for the ball is to find the deepest possible valleys. So what makes this ball roll? It's not just one thing. Its journey is actually this constant tug-of-war between two fundamental competing forces. There's a steady, predictable pull and a completely random kick.
And here's the equation that describes it all. Now listen, don't let the symbols freak you out. We're not going to do a deep math lecture, I promise. We're just going to use our mountain analogy to understand what each piece of this recipe for becoming actually does.
Let's look at that first piece, the minus grad chi. That is the downhill pull. It's the predictable part, kind of like gravity. It's always pulling our ball of reality towards stability, trying to find the lowest point in whatever valley it's currently in. It's the force that wants order.
But then you have this other part, Z. This is the wild card. The source material calls it the sentient jitter, which is a lot like what physicists call thermal noise. Think of it as a random, chaotic kick. It's the universe's own spontaneity, constantly nudging the ball in totally unpredictable directions. Okay, so you've got this steady pull and this crazy random kick. It's how they work together that's so important, because it's this combination that allows reality to take shape, specifically by helping it escape from what you could call boring pits.
And this is so important, because think about it. Without that random kick, the downhill pull would have nothing to fight against. Our ball of reality would just roll into the very first shallowest dip it could find, and it would just stay there, forever, stuck.
And what does that mean in real terms? It means the universe might have just frozen as a boring, cold soup of simple hydrogen atoms. Sure, that's a stable state, but it's a very shallow and incredibly uninteresting one. No stars, no planets, no life, nothing.
So the kick is the hero of the story here. That random jitter is just strong enough to knock the ball out of these boring little pits. It forces it to hop over the small hills so it can continue its journey, always searching for much deeper, more complex, and way more meaningful valleys.
And what kind of deep valleys are we talking about? Well, this process of getting kicked out of simple states is what allows the universe to discover these incredibly complex and stable arrangements. We're talking about the elegant double helix of DNA, or the mind-bogglingly intricate pathways of a neural network. These aren't just little dips. These are the Grand Canyons on our map of meaning.
So, when our rolling ball of reality finally finds one of these incredibly deep, stable valleys, something amazing happens. It settles in. It snaps into a coherent form. And this local snap, that's what we see and experience as a solid physical object. So think about a simple rock. In this view, a rock isn't just a static thing. It's a region of reality where this whole rolling process is found and settled into a really deep and stable pattern. It's a snapshot of the journey finding a temporary resting place.
Okay, so now let's zoom out a bit. This whole rolling thing, this incredible dance between the pull and the kick, it's not the whole picture.
It's actually just one crucial step in a much larger 6-step engine that seems to be driving all of cosmic evolution.
You can see the whole logic laid out here. It starts with a finite amount of stuff, which then gets divided up to create the landscape of possibilities. Rules for how things connect are established, and then look, there it is, step 5, the local snap. That's our rolling process. That's the moment of action where potential becomes actual, right before it all scales up in the final step.
So, what does this all mean for us? It kind of reframes our entire understanding of the cosmos and our place in it. We're not just static objects living in a world that's already finished.
The really big takeaway is this. The universe isn't some finished painting hanging in a museum. It is an active, generative process. It's like a movie that's being made right now, at this very moment, constantly rolling and exploring a vast, high-dimensional landscape of potential meaning.
And this leads to such a profound shift in how we see things. The source material has this absolutely beautiful way of putting it. We aren't falling through space, we are rolling toward the deepest meaning the field can find.
And that kind of leaves you with one last thought, doesn't it? The next time you experience uncertainty or randomness or what feels like total chaos in your own life, just ask yourself, is that just noise? Or is it the universe's essential kick pushing you out of a shallow valley so you can explore and discover something even deeper?